I know the feeling. It's not the first time it's come my way.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Jaeger, and welcome to my Celebrity Showcase. I'm very excited today to have a very special guest. My guest name is Salvatore Orefice. Welcome, Salvatore.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you for being here. Salvatore is a famous playwright and author.
Famous.
And today we're going to be discussing his book, Tripping with the King and Others. And yes, it's that king, Elvis Presley, is going to be mentioned in this book along with a lot of other celebrities. Well, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I'm so happy to have you here. I was given your book to read, and I read your book, and I fell in love with not only the book, but you, the author, and I wanted to hear more. And so I'd really like our audience to know about this fascinating book and to know about Salvatore.
Yeah, okay.
So let's talk about you being an author. When did you decide you wanted to write?
Oh, right. Well, well, this is a long one here, isn't it? I was cutting hair, right, in Melrose.
That's right. You're also you're
right.
a celebrity hairstylist also.
Well, about it, yeah. And I had a shop in Melrose, and I was cutting hair, and I got into music, and I started writing music. And you ever hear of David Geffen?
Of course. Big time.
Yeah, well, he was one of my clients.
He was one of your clients. Okay.
Right. And David and I figured, well, he's in the business. I'll go and write a song and give it to David. I'm in, you know.
Right.
And I did, and David liked him, and somehow I got off the track though.
So you started with the music.
Right, and then went into writing.
And then you went into writing. You probably went into the writing, probably after you had all these experiences with these famous people, you probably thought maybe the public wants to hear about this?
No, I didn't know. I started writing plays first.
You wrote plays first?
Yes, right, absolutely.
Well,
excuse me, go ahead.
No, it was okay. So you did write a play also. Let's talk about your play for a minute, then we'll get back to the book.
Right.
You wrote a play called The Table.
Yes.
And we have actually a picture of this play.
Right.
And maybe you can tell us some of the actors and a little bit about the play.
You gotta be terrific. Where's the picture?
It's up on the screen. So what actors did you have cast in that play?
Okay. Tony Caruso, an old-time actor. Great, he's done hundreds of films.
Right.
And remember The Asphalt Jungle? That's
course.
Where he was in a great one. Frank DeCova,
okay.
A seasoned actor, did the detective story on Broadway. He was also a teacher
Wonderful.
at Columbia, taught dramaturgy. And, he was like, remember F Troop?
Yes.
He was the chief.
So you had like all these big time players, and this was your first play that was produced.
Right, and
you had
seasoned
this
actors.
Amazing seasoned actor cast.
It's frightening.
It's amazing. Everything you touch just turns to gold. It's magical.
It wasn't gold, really.
Yeah.
And the director, I remember remember Jack Parr? I got to go back on this, right? Jack Parr had wonderful guests all the time, and one of them was this director. He used to introduce. He was starting in Broadway with Katharine Hepburn.
Wow.
And some music. I don't know what it was. And I remember this guy. He introduced this man, John Myers, as the most erudite man he's ever met. Until today, I fast forward 30 years or whatever. I knock on the door. I'm giving this man a play.
Right.
And open the door.
This is the play that you wrote, and
right,
you were just seeing if somebody was interested in reading it.
Right. I got to his door.
Right.
So I wouldn't go to that. And I knocked on it, and he opened the door. Yes. I go, wow, I know this guy. I gave him the play.
Right.
And he's an Italianophile, and we did a whole cast is Italian. And that's
the whole cast is Italian.
We did it at on Melrose at the Cole Board Theater.
Wonderful.
Great little theater.
So
that's my first writing.
And so what was the play? What was the play about? Just real quick. What was the subject of the play?
It's like the Italians gathered around. Oh, gee, I'm terrible at this.
Okay, anyways,
synopsis.
We'd have to see the play.
Right.
And hopefully we'll put it into production again so we can see it. I'd like to.
It was really great doing it, though. Really was.
Okay, now let's talk about this book, Tripping with the King and Others.
Right.
So you worked with. We want to hear about Elvis. Can we hear about Elvis? Okay. You actually were a hairstylist. You had your own salon.
That was after Elvis.
But you ended up being asked to actually work on Elvis Presley's hair. What did that feel like when somebody walked up to you and said, "Hey, Elvis wants you to do his hair"?
Yes, it was frightening. Let's see how I'll tell this one. I was at J. Sebring's hair salon for men.
J. Sebring is a well-known hairstylist, right?
J. Sebring was connected with, well, they were sweethearts. Sharon Tate.
Sharon Tate, right.
He's the one that was killed with Sharon Tate.
He was. I'm sorry to hear that,
and
unfortunately.
The Manson thing, remember?
Right.
Okay. So that was Jay, and he
When
owned the
you were-
salon. I was doing Sonny West's hair. He's a bodyguard of Elvis, and I did his hair
He
for
was the bodyguard of Elvis, and
One
you were
of-
doing
one
the
of-
bodyguard's hair.
Right. And
Right.
I never knew he was a body. He was just a sweet man.
You didn't know. You had no idea.
Just a soft-spoken, sweet gentleman.
Right.
And he said, why don't you come up to the house? Elvis likes my haircut, and he played a little
Wow.
ball. And I said, what the hell do I know about baseball? I'm not going to go up there. And it went on and on. So finally, one day, Jay calls me up to his office, and he's nervous. What happened? He says, well, I had to do something, man. I had to do something. The king called for a haircut,
Yes.
and I went and did it. I said, wow.
So he went up there first
Right.
and did Elvis's hair.
Right. And I said, well, did he ask for me? He says, yeah, he asked for
But
you.
he's still asking for you.
And he says, I had
Wow.
to do it because it would be like she being snubbed by sub, in the
So you were first
report.
hesitant to do this. You weren't just jumping on it saying, I
No.
want to do Elvis's hair.
No, but now here's the kicker. He does his hair, and he's nervous. I said, what happened? And he starts laughing. He says, well, I really goofed it, man. I had to take it down to 0.
I was reading that in your book.
Right,
Yeah, right.
right.
You never
That's
think of
what
Elvis Presley's hair as being anything but perfect, but you had to work on it. huh?
Traumatic. He was doing the film Fun in Acapulco.
Right.
And so I had to go see him next morning and resurrect his hair and do it, and that's how I got into it.
Right, and you pulled up to his house in Bel Air, I read, and there was
Right.
fans outside waiting, and here you are pulling
hovering
up.
over my little car trying to get in there. My gosh, I said, what am I getting into?
And we
Yeah.
want to know. I mean, I know you talk about it in the book, in your book, but can you just tell the audience a little bit about Elvis when you first saw him? What was he like?
Wow, that's a good one, too.
And he was not the public Elvis, but we want to know about the personal, the personal Elvis.
You know, that's a good question. The book is not about the public Elvis.
Right.
The book is not about the Elvis books. You know how I started doing this? My name is about 13 or 14 books. I'm indexed.
Right.
I was there. It's for real. But all the books is as told to, save one writer. So it was told to another writer.
Right.
And this is straight in, unfiltered.
Right. I mean, so we have conversations in this book. It's you actually sitting in doing Elvis's hair, having a personal conversation
right,
with him.
But as a writer,
Right.
then I was doing that. But as a
Right.
writer, I'm doing it this way. It's another craft, believe me. And I saw all the stuff they're doing. It's the same. It's cliched stuff.
Right.
He did this, and he met this girl, and they had an affair, and he was sick, and
that's what I love that was different about your book is
Right.
it's completely different angle.
Right.
It's more human.
right. It's the underbelly.
It's completely different, and you
right.
get to really know and
Right.
love the people. It's not just surface. So
Right.
tell me a little bit
Wh-
what you think of him then, from an author's point of view.
Well, I could talk all night about that one alone.
Nice
A-
guy,
a wonderful guy. Complex.
Never think of him being complex.
Very complex. And a true artist and great ears.
So what was it like when, I need to know, because, being from a hairstylist point of view, when you worked on Elvis's hair, are you the one who decided to do the black, dye it black?
I
and
used to
do
dye his hair black.
And the way he wore it, did you design all that?
Yeah. Well,
You did?
For the movie, whichever movie it was, we did a movie called Kissing Cousins. Remember that?
Yeah.
Where he had a wig. He used to wear a wig.
Wow.
And he played a dual role, and then he whipped the wig off, and it would be his natural hair, and I'd be setting it in between takes.
That's a big deal because, his hair is known, it's part of his fame is his hair.
Yeah.
And that's really an honor that you're here.
Yeah.
That you've done his hair and you're also an
Well, it's
author.
not so much about his hair. I was an opening.
Right.
I went into another groove with the man completely.
Exactly.
I didn't see him as I wasn't part of the Memphis Mafia thing. I
Right.
made that clear to Elvis right at the outset. I can never do that stuff, what I do. So privately, we spoke privately,
You had
most of the
a very
times.
intimate,
Right, right,
friendship with
right,
Elvis,
right.
where you really talk about in the book. You talk about a side of him that the public doesn't know, things that Elvis was interested in that he doesn't talk about in public,
Well,
because it was
right,
more
right.
about his personal interests, and that's what I want people to read about.
Well, what motivated him?
Right.
His narcissistic thing.
Right.
But what was behind that? How was he nurtured by his mother and his father? What happened?
Exactly.
All the subjective stuff, and that's how I saw it.
And it's all in this book, and I really felt like I got to know you and him, but on a very loving level. It was very, very positive.
Yeah,
it was
that's good.
beautiful.
That's good.
Okay, well, what made you end up leaving doing Elvis's
That's
hair?
another one. Gee, I'm dry. You don't have any water, do you? Can I have some of that water, man? Can I get up and get it, or what?
No, we'll bring it to you.
Oh, man, that's so hip. Thank you. Excuse me, I gotta have a drink
No
of water.
problem. You have your drink of water, and we'll.
My gosh, thank you.
No problem.
Thank you. Molto grazie. Right there. Okay,
So
back
tell me,
to it.
Sal, what was it like? I mean, because I know a few famous people, but I don't know as many as you do. You've worked around him. You've
Right.
written about him in your books. What is it like? Just chit-chatting like a friend with these very famous people, Sammy Davis,
Yeah.
Burt Reynolds.
Yeah.
I mean, if anybody's famous, you know them, you've met them, you've talked to them. It's all in your book here. That's what I want people to read.
I met a lot of them, yes.
Do you get to a point where you're comfortable, where it just feels like a friend, and you're not? Do you ever get over that nervous, excited feeling when you're in their
absolutely
presence?
get over that.
You do?
Again, with Elvis, we had our private moments. We talked for days, not just
Yeah.
2 minutes, for days, and lock in and go through stuff. I don't even want to mention what we go through. And,
But you do. You probably yourself started feeling like you know.
well,
you're
I
pretty,
was just going to say, but then
Yeah.
it was friendly. It was no bars there.
That is so
It
exciting.
was right in more straight in stuff. But as soon as that was done, we opened the door, went into that Elvis Presley world, sealed that.
You have a
thing
picture
happening.
of yourself with Elvis that they took for you on the set. If we can put that up, we can take a look at that.
Right.
And that was taken on the set when you wanted to get a picture with them, and they actually took you on the set at when he was filming a movie where you're doing his hair, and they give you the whole formal setup and let you take a professional photo with him.
Yeah.
I love that picture.
Yeah.
And then we have a picture of Graceland.
Yeah, I was staying at Graceland. That's right.
You actually did you actually live at Graceland?
Yeah.
And that's in your book.
Well, it is. It is.
Well, you were living at Graceland. I mean, what kind of a room did they give you? Did they give you
I was downstairs. They had his famous fountain. Remember Elvis Presley?
Sure.
And I was a pool table there and another bedroom there. And I was downstairs. I had the whole thing to myself. It was great.
and so you'd be like alone in the house, and it would just be you and Elvis and the
Occa-
chef and-
Occasionally it would be that. Well, there's always a maid. I mean, the cook or someone.
Right.
And a monkey or something.
So can I ask you a question? And I know you wrote about it in your book. So you were there on call to do hair and to just observe it. How many times a day did you do his hair? Was it once a day, or was it once every few days?
It depends. That's a good one. Sometimes he'd lock up for 3 or 4 days, or maybe something like that, 5 days.
Where you wouldn't
a
see
week.
him?
Yeah, I'd be right downstairs.
Uh-huh.
Or I'd go out if I want to, or would borrow a car.
So basically, it was pretty. You just got to see what his life was about and observing it.
Right.
You had a lot of time to do that.
And then when he come out of that cave, he used to make his room like a cave. He'd be wanting to do things, and I'd be like, I'm doing his hair today, tomorrow, every half hour. Let's diet. Let's go out. And then more active. But I was always there for that.
Some of my favorite conversations that you wrote about in your book, Tripping with the King and others, I loved it when you were talking about when you were with Elvis in his private bathroom, and you were saying that when people are that rich and famous, their bathrooms are amazing. that you consider yourself pretty lucky to be there. But you had some really nice, intimate conversations with him in those bathrooms, where I thought it was some of my favorite
More
parts
than
of your
intimate,
book.
mind expanding.
It's some of my favorite parts of the book because it was so human, and I loved that.
Yeah, right.
So tell us a little bit more about your book. We don't have to talk about it. Besides Elvis, there was a place you had a salon called the Iron Flute.
Right. On
We have a
Melrose.
picture of you cutting hair at the Iron Flute.
Is it on? Is it up there?
Yeah, it's up there, and
Oh,
it's
that's
on
great.
Melrose.
Okay, that's a different kind of clientele, but most of the time it was with actors, at Sebring's.
Actors, J. Sebring's salon was more actors.
Right,
And then you
right.
went off, and after
Right.
after you left Elvis, you went and opened up the Iron Flute,
Right.
and you had a lot of really famous musicians.
Right.
Tell us about that.
Oh, the different groups of the band. Oh, the band. Ant Whistle.
Wasn't like Stephen Stills?
Crosby, Stills, and
Crosby, Stills,
but I
and
didn't do
Nash.
Crosby. I did Neil Young.
You did
Remember
Neil Young?
Gosh, dozens of people.
And that was such a cool time. Now, this was this in the 60s?
Mid-'60s.
The mid-'60s, and I was saying again, in this book that you wrote, which is fabulous, it's great to read this book because it's written in the essence of the 60s.
Right.
It's written, the language you use, and
Yes.
and you were all partying, and you're all having a great time. So you didn't just go get a haircut. You guys
No.
went in there and you partied and you did your
Right.
hair, and
Right.
it was a real different
But
thing going on there.
that was a different zeitgeist. Exactly right. there would be great executives, moguls, walking in with a Coke spoon around their neck. You know, everything was free.
Everything was different then. It was a little more relaxed,
right,
wasn't it?
Right. Exactly
So I mean, it was
right.
So it was interesting because the book has got that vibe and that feel of the '60s, which I
Right.
love, and you just captured it so well.
That's great.
Also, you're a musician,
Right.
and you write your own original jazz music, and we have a roll-in of you and your son Vincent and your brother John
Hot
playing
stuff.
original song.
Right.
So we're
That's
gonna listen to that right now for a few minutes, and we're gonna check out some more of your talent here.
hot. That's hot.
Salvatore, the musician. Let's take a
Molto
look.